Mark Rogers TV with you on the hiring of Brian Schottenheimer as offensive coordinator at the University of Georgia. Is he the right guy? Is he a good fit? Well, for the past 3 seasons, he's been the offensive coordinator with the St. Louis Rams. Yes, the Rams have been stuck in a defensive-minded situation in their division with 3 of the top defenses in the NFL over the past few seasons: San Francisco, Seattle, and Arizona. So that's been difficult and should be taken into consideration when we look at these numbers. 21st in the NFL in scoring this past season, 28th in total offense. Schottenheimer did come into a situation where the Rams were 32nd, dead last in the NFL in total offense, and that number went to number 25 the next season. He's not had a healthy Sam Bradford. He's been working with the likes of Austin Davis at quarterback for the past year and a half or so. Before that, he gained most of his notoriety with the New York Jets, not necessarily for positive reasons, for negative reasons, and also for reasons just because of the situation there in New York with Rex Ryan, Mr. Defense, defensive-minded, basically coaches half a football team. And for Brian Schottenheimer, in 6 seasons, it was all ground and pound. And most of the draft selections were geared toward the defense. The attention was given as an organization and as a football mindset to the defense. So you cannot hold him to standards in a prolific passing league to the standards of other teams because, again, it was on Sean Green, it was on the likes of the running game, and this offense did finish 9th in total offense in 2008 for the New York Jets. But again, defensive mindset when he was in New York with Mark Sanchez at quarterback, who wasn't the most productive quarterback in the NFL. Before that, quarterback stops with San Diego 2002 through 2005, and he got his NFL start with Washington as a quarterback's coach in 2001. Of course, what does he have to work with at Georgia? It all starts with Nick Chubb, the freshman running back, soon to be a sophomore, 1,500 yards, over 7 yards per carry, 14 touchdowns. Also can be a factor in the passing game with 18 receptions and 2 touchdowns this past season at Georgia. We last saw him ripping up the Louisville run defense, one of the best in the country, for, 275 yards, something in that range. Sony Michel, don't forget about this top recruit from 2 years ago as a freshman. He rushed for over 400 yards, 6.4 per pop, and 5 touchdowns. Brian Schottenheimer going to be breaking in a new starting quarterback in Bryce Ramsey, replacing the very efficient Hudson Mason. We last saw Ramsey replacing Mason when Hudson Mason went down in the Belk Bowl, and they relied on Nick Chubb exclusively. Ramsey put it up just 9 times, completed 4. His first pass a disaster, a red zone interception. He rebounded from that, didn't light it up, but took care of the football. 4 of 9 for 51 yards on the season, 24 of 39, 333 yards, 3 touchdowns and 2 picks. Coming back, not too much at wide receiver. A lot of veteran guys like Michael Bennett and Chris Conley. Moving on, Malcolm Bennett, the big threat, coming back. Really nicked up at 2014, played just 8 games, caught 31 with 3 touchdowns. He's been more productive in previous seasons and should be the go-to guy. And Mr. Ramsey should have quite a security blanket in Jeb Blazevich at tight end, highly touted freshman who caught 18 passes for 2 touchdowns as well. Is this a good fit? Well, if you combine the Georgia mindset, a pro-style offense, and what they like to do with Brian Schottenheimer, 1 or 2 backs in the backfield, few empty sets unless it's an obvious passing situation, a lot of pocket passing, pro-style quarterback here in Bryce Ramsey who can move around, but he's not the typical dual threat, pocket passer, play action. Brian Schottenheimer seems to be a good fit with Mark Richt there in Athens, Georgia. Would love to hear what you have to say about Schottenheimer going to Georgia right here on Mark Rogers TV.